Alright, we're here in Chula Vista for our first finals of 2011. Brunswick Premier. Top seed Travis Hewitt looking to win his first career JBT title. Going up against 18-time champion Cameron Smith. Smith has won 3 matches in the scratch division step ladder to get this far, but just finished opening in the second frame. Meanwhile, Travis spared in the first. This is his second frame, and he comes up high in the same frame that Cameron just came up high in, so it looks like the lanes are changing a little bit, and the bowler's going to have to adjust to it. Hewitt up quickly at the spare attempt, across the lane at the 6, and covers it. Travis from Northern California, so it's NoCal versus SoCal here in the title match. Travis from Fremont in the Oakland Bay area. Fairly down and in player, bowling quickly right now. Playing right around that track here between the second and third arrow, and comes in just a half pocket, leaves himself a 10. Travis exploded in the semifinals with a 793 3-game set to jump into the lead. Says he doesn't yet have an 800 series in competition. That surprised me for as much bowling as he's done. He seems to be in a hurry to get back to Northern California right now, as he is racing through this game right now. Cameron finished 2010, the second place finish at Kingman just back on Wednesday. 4 days later, here we are down in San Diego, and here he is bowling for yet another title. Had the honor of losing to Kyle King for Kyle's 50th career JBT title last Wednesday. There you go. That's the look that Cameron's had most of this step ladder. He's had quite a few boards to play with. He's got the right ball in his hand and the right place on the lane. That combined with some pretty good shots has led to a lot of strikes. 228, 235, and then 255 his last 3 games, all on this pair. So let's see if he can keep that pace for just one more game here and notch his title. See the typical form of Cameron. He's using the full approach. He's going to have a low backswing. The elbow's going to kind of bump out a little bit, which is unusual these days, but then right back in, right there, snaps through it at the bottom. That time, that ball floated on him. So you can see him giving it a long look down the lane. So I think he was surprised that ball skated that long. Leaves the 2-4-5. 2-4-5, tricky little spare. Spare cost poor Allie Ijams $700 at main event. She chopped it. On a modern lane condition, it's more choppable than it was in the past. That time though, Smith no trouble with it. So Hewitt leads by 10 pins through 3 frames. Travis had, pun intended, the most painful broadcast of the year so far this year, as he made the title match at Mira Mesa, and then his entire arm cramped up on him, and it was literally all he could do to even let go of the ball, and it was extraordinarily painful for him. It was pretty darn painful for us to watch. Can't even imagine what it was like for him. No sign of anything like that here as he flushes 10 on the pin on that one and maintains that 10-pin lead, which he can extend to 19. He can double up here in the 5th frame. Travis, like many hundreds of other bowlers, down here for main events. And then team trials coming up next week back in Vegas. So it's a whole odyssey down here from mid-December to mid-January. And that time, he gets a real nice break. He's had the 4-9 standing and trips them both out, gets that double, and gets that 19-pin lead. For as much as we talk about Kyle King on our tour, deservedly so, there's so many other bowlers of just top-notch talent that deserve a whole lot of airtime too, and Cameron right up there. Cameron is 7th all-time in our titles list. Sort of a little bit under the radar that way, but... Oh, 2nd time in a row. You can see right when that ball was supposed to start turning left, it didn't. Cameron's hands went up, and this time the whole bucket stands. So the lanes change over the course of time. Balls move the oil down around the lanes. Sometimes they dry up, sometimes they carry down. And it looks right now that he's hit a little bit of carry down in the middle of both lanes now. Got to be careful of that back pin on these buckets. Oh, nicely done. So 2 tricky spares. He manages to spare up, but a little bit of count loss there too. Puts him behind by 14 now. much and as often as Cameron is, you have to do this for a long time and be very successful at it. Cameron does all of that. Both bowlers wearing Tampa Bay red and black. I gotta hand it to him, that was nice. John Dukes to my left wearing Tampa red and black. It's a red and black festival here, all right. Nice. Smith gets a little bit softer with that one, covers a little bit more boards, gets a little more friction on the back. That time carries all 10. Double working for Travis. Oh, yes, sir. You knew that one off his hands. No doubter there. And that three-bagger extends the lead to 24. Looking good. Travis, I'm sure, has a bunch of titles on the Northern California version of us. It's not our tour, but has the NC JBT name. Wider that time, all the way back. Yes, sir. Bowled on a house condition today, as you can probably tell. Both bowlers have a few more boards to play with than all these sport shots we've been throwing at them lately. That ball, good 4 or 5 boards further right, and all that friction gets it roaring back there. Pops that 10 out. And pretty much forces Cameron to start stringing right here. Ball change. Yeah! Very nice ball change. The ball that's a little more aggressive on the back end, he was also further right to get a little more friction. Gets the light hit to carry. Let's see if he stays with that ball or goes back to the ball he's used all step ladder long. He can't see. Sticking with the mission? There we go. So sticking with the ball he just changed to. Tough to make a ball change in the 7th frame of the title match, but it was time. Wow. Got away with one there as that ball held the entire lane. Maybe that was also part of that ball change, because last using that other red ball that was holding but not turning over to carry. That one does. And that 3-bagger keeps him in this match. Here's Hewitt for 5 though. Oh, and the tide turns as Travis doesn't strike there. Does break up the split though. Leaves himself to 4-7. So Hewitt going at a 226 pace right now. That's spare strike off the sheet. The best Smith can do is 234. So still anybody's game here as we reach the late stages. No problem with the spare. House pattern, like we said today, pretty medium scores actually for house pattern. We're in the astronomical cut. Took plus 17 and scratch to make the cut, so just about a 203 average. While, what the heck was the handicap cut? Right in that area too, yeah, 15, 10, something like that. So plus was in general good enough today. Big shot for Hewitt in the 9th. Yes, sir. He says it does. 10 in the pit. Strikes of the 9th, so important. Sets up your entire 10th frame. You know, he cannot be shut out anymore. No matter what Cameron does, Travis will have a chance in the 10th. Christian can start his practice. Oh, yeah. As a bowler, you love it when that 10 pin tilts over sideways like that. You know you're in just the right spot when that happens. He's done with lane 4. Now a big, big 10th frame coming up here. Again, Cameron can max out for 234. If he gets them both, that'll force, depending on that'll force the first one, depending on the count. You know, see what Cameron gets here in his first. Gotta have this one have any chance. Travis is in the title match and he's still lighting it up for me. Oh! Needed it to wheel. Didn't quite get there. Boy, he was really zoning in on that lane with that ball change, and it was looking better and better. That was actually a better shot than the one that carried on lane 3 before. Just hadn't quite refine-tuned. And with the fill ball, we'll still force 8. The fill ball will still force 9 total pins here. So it's important that he strikes on this if he can. And that 9 changes things just a little bit more. He finishes with 212, a great effort. If it is indeed a losing one, winning 3 matches to get here. 8 out would be 212, or 8 total pins. So Travis needs 9 pins on 2 shots. This is the exact same situation that Jerome Jordan was in the handicap main event title match. That got a little interesting. I don't expect it again here. And that's it. Boy, a little high. It could have been a 4-9, which would have at least forced a pin. But the 9 is good enough no matter what happens. Travis knows it. Travis has a computer up in that brain. He's corrected me about 7 times today on little itty-bitty things. 25 every other time. And he knew it before everybody else. Travis Hewitt's the JBT champ is the bottom line. The arm is intact. Bowling balls are intact. The smile is on the face. All is well in Hewitt's world. So title for Travis. Congrats to him. Fine day for Cameron as well. We'll see more of him, I'm sure. Check back on other YouTube videos for our handicap title match. For your last ball, quit looking back here. I won't cut you off. For a 2-25 winner, Travis Hewitt.